Hey, what's up guys? Today I wanted to make a little video on some of the upgrades that I've done to my Scorpion Evo 3 and give you guys a rundown of some of those features and explain why I added some of those, and just so that you can see some of the options for your Scorpion. So we'll start out on this side. So for the purpose of this video, we're going to call the right side of the gun the passenger side and the left side of the gun the driver's side. Makes sense, right? So on the passenger side, I added this AK style safety selector. So that is the medium size AK style safety selector from HB Industries. And the reason I added that is because the factory the factory safety, which is this one right here. Now this is on the driver's side of the gun. One, it gets in the way when you're firing, so dig into your hand, right? Because it's stuck out on the rub here. That's a pretty common thing with the Scorpions. But also this one, when you engage it with your thumb, I like that I can take it off safe with my thumb very easily, like an AR-15. But it's very difficult because it's pretty stiff, and the detent is pretty firm. It's difficult to put it back on safe, and so I like this because then I can just pull this down with my index finger and put it back on safe. So I would take it off safe with my thumb, put it back on safe with my index finger. I can also run it just like this pretty easily, but for my purposes, running it like an AR-15 as far as taking it off safe is what I like best. So next is going to be the HB Industries trigger shoe. I went with this trigger shoe just because it's a little bit of an upgraded version from the factory one. This is a billet aluminum trigger shoe. It doesn't do anything internally, it's just a shoe, but it feels a little bit nicer on the front of the trigger there, and I think it looks a little bit better, and I think it's a little bit sturdier. So I also did do the HB Industries lighter trigger spring on the inside there, and I did that last night, and just with kind of function testing it and everything, dry firing it, it seems to be pretty nice. I don't think it was a massive improvement, but I think it was definitely a slight improvement. So we'll see how that holds up. Hopefully these birds out here aren't too distracting to you guys. I don't know how much that's getting picked up, but the robins out here are all over the place and they're having a good old time. So next is going to be this enlarged duckbill style mag release, and I went with this because the factory mag release is pretty small. Now this one is easy to just grab that and strip the magazine out, and it's pretty big. You can also reach it with your middle or index finger on your firing hand, either here or here, and drop that magazine. But this is nice for if you draw another magazine out, you can strip this one out, insert the next magazine pretty easily. So that gives you a lot better purchase, and it's a lot easier to drop that magazine. So I'm going to keep that out of the gun for now. We'll check and make sure it's safe. It's definitely safe. Put that back on safe. So next is going to be the HB Industries m-lok rail, and this is their flat front rail. I like the look of this versus the traditional angle cut Scorpion rail, and this one gives you a lot better options. It is an aluminum rail, and so it feels a little bit more sturdy. It's got the m-lok, so it's a little bit more modern, if you will, and it's smooth. The factory Scorpion handguard has got this Picatinny rail on all four sides basically, and when you grab it, that rail digs in your hand. A lot of people put rail covers on that, which is nice, but I just wanted something a little bit different, a little bit nicer looking to me. And then the other biggest thing is that, as you can see, this one is a little bit bigger diameter on the inside. Now the factory Scorpion handguard, you cannot fit a suppressor in, and I've got a suppressor on the way and that I want to run on this gun, and so I needed something that would fit a suppressor. the factory handguard came too close to the threads and you couldn't thread a suppressor on, and it was too thin to fit in there. This one is big enough and will fit the suppressor. I double checked with the diameter of the inside diameter of the handguard and the suppressor itself, so you can see that view right there. Next, I went with the Streamlight protac railmount 2 light. So there's the light. This light's really nice. I really like it. It's not the smallest light. I probably could have gone smaller, but I still wanted something with a decent amount of lumens so that I could illuminate, because this is going to be basically a home defense gun. So I wanted to be able to illuminate the whole inside of my house, each room that I'm in. They make a version that's smaller, that's 300 lumens, I think, or 350, something like that. This one, I believe, is 600. But I wanted more lumens just because that's always going to be better. So it comes with the tape switch here, or the pressure pad. And what I did is I bought just a polymer Picatinny rail section there that fit the tape switch, and I can't remember what length this is. I'll list it. I'll take a look at my purchase and figure out how long this is, and I'll put a link to that. And then because it's polymer, so it's got these little clips that hold the tape switch down, and then it comes with screws, and so I just screwed those into the polymer, which is pretty easy. So that's on there nice and good. Now the one thing I don't like is, as you can see, this tape switch sticks out to the side. So whenever I put it in a bag, this always ends up getting pushed, right? And so, or if I lay it down on its side like this, you know, it's like if I lay it on this side, it's leaning on the light. If I lay it on this side, it leans on the tape switch. So when I put this in a bag and when I travel with it, I just unscrew this about a quarter turn, and then that way this tape switch is disengaged and it's not going to function and drain my batteries inside a rifle bag or something like that. And then when I take it out, or when I'm back home and I want it to be ready to go, I just turn that all the way back, and now it works again. So pretty bright light. I chose to go with the Primary Arms micro red dot, so you can see that this is their advanced micro red dot with the 50,000 hour battery life. As you can see, it's FDE and it does not match the gun, and that's because I got this one on Black Friday on clearance on a really good deal. So I said, why not? I'll go with FDE. I bought it before I got the gun, and maybe eventually I'll buy the little plastic cover that goes on it that's black, and I don't know, whatever. It doesn't really bother me at all. So next, the grip. So this vertical grip this grip is a lot more vertical than the factory grip. And that's a really common thing for people to change out, because those Scorpion grips are angled really far back, and it's kind of a strange angle. I'm not sure why they went with that and why they did it that way, but this grip is a lot more vertical. I might end up going with a Magpul grip. To be honest, I would have bought the Magpul version if I could find it in stock anywhere right now, but it's sold out because it's a brand new Magpul product, and that's what happens. So, but this one's pretty cool. It's pretty aggressive on the front there, and then it's got these grip tape inserts. Again, I'm not sure. I bought this from a buddy of mine. It was a takeoff from one of his guns, and I don't know the manufacturer because I didn't buy it from them, but I can certainly find out, and I'll put that in the video, or I'll put that in the link. So that's pretty much everything I did. Let's see here. I'll pop this open and give you guys a little view of the inside. So there's the lower receiver. And so I did have to, mine was the welded trigger pack, so if you can see this screw right here, I had to drill that out via that hole. Hopefully you guys can see that. So, and then once I drilled that out, removed the trigger pack, and then I did go with the HP Industries lighter trigger spring. I don't know if you guys can see in there. Let me see if I can get it on the video. It's not going to show up, but there's a little orange spring in there. I attempted last night to do a trigger polish job, and my $9 Harbor Freight Dremel just was not going to cut it, and it was a pain in the butt, and so I just gave up on that. But I did attempt to polish some of the internals here, like on the hammer, on the back of the hammer there and stuff. The trigger feels pretty good. It's hard to say if it made a huge improvement, that lighter trigger spring, or not. I'm going to keep an eye on it because I've heard there's been some issues with it being too light for the reset on the trigger. So we'll see when I shoot it. We'll see how that works. But that's about all I did internally. So we'll see. The next step would be like a drop-in trigger or something like that. So we'll see how I like this. But overall, I really love this gun. It's a fun little gun. Real small and compact. There you can see with it folded up. Super small. Fairly lightweight for the most part. And just a great little home defense gun. This thing is pretty awesome. I really like it. I think it's money well spent. I'm probably into it like $1,400 right now with everything, and so that's really not bad for something that of this, this quality and functional and all these different features. So far I'm really happy with it. I got to go shoot it a bunch more and see how the trigger works, and see if there's anything else I need to work out. I got to figure out where I'm going to mount the sling to this thing next. I typically like a 2-point sling, and I like it. On my rifle, I like it mounted back here at the end of the receiver and just in front of the magazine, pretty much. But this we'll have to see because there's not as many options. As you can see, I can't really mount a sling in here. I'm not sure where I'm going to mount one right here. I don't like the idea of hooking it to this, so we'll see. I might try to put a sling swivel on it or something. So that'll be the next step, is figuring out how I'm going to put a sling on this thing. Alright guys, well hopefully you enjoyed that video, and don't forget to like and subscribe.